Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to Accidental Adult. It is fantastic to see you here again, and today we are going to make Musakhan or Sumac chicken rolls. Musakhan is a delicious Palestinian dish made with roasted chicken, caramelized onions, lots of sumac, and flatbread. Today, however, we will be making Musakhan rolls, which is a fun twist on the traditional recipe. It is super simple and one of my absolute favorite dishes. Now let's get started. In this Musakhan version, we will be boiling the chicken because it's faster and I'm also making soup. So start by roughly chopping the aromatics and adding them to a large pot. Normally, I'd also add a carrot, but I forgot to buy one, so we're leaving it out today. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken breast because I want this to be as easy as possible to shred later on, but you can use any part of the chicken you like. Moving over to the stovetop, drizzle some olive oil over the chicken and aromatics, then fry them over medium heat. To get a bit of color and browning, which will give you a more flavorful stock, first, don't overcrowd your pot like I did, and second, try not to stir too much. For the spices, I'm adding cardamum, cloves, bay leaves, a cinnamon stick, black peppercorns, and frying them for about a minute before drowning everything in water. Bring the water up to a boil, skimming off the scum that rises to the top, then let it gently simmer for 15 minutes or until the chicken is cooked through. In the meantime, we are going to slice the onions. Today I'm using a 1:1 ratio of onion and chicken, but you can measure the onions with your heart and add as much as you want. We don't want to slice the onions too thinly. We want them to be about 1 centimeter thick, like this. This is how much onions you want, so if you're not crying by the end of it, then you don't have enough onions. 15 minutes later, the chicken should be ready. Pull it apart and the thickest part to check if it's cooked through. Then transfer the chicken to a plate, and you can drain the stock and use it to make soup, which is what I'm doing today, but you can also freeze it for another time. If the chicken is too hot to handle, you can use 2 forks to shred it like this, or you can just wait until it cools a bit and shred it with your hands. It's very juicy. Very yummy. Okay, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Next, we're going to fry the onions over medium heat in a decent amount of oil, enough to cover the bottom of the pan, around 0.5 centimeter, like this. Season them with a bit of salt and saute for 5 to 10 minutes until they become soft and translucent. You can also take it a step further and caramelize them if you want, but I prefer mine like this. Add the shredded chicken over the onions and season them with 1/2 cup of sumac, a bit of salt, and mix everything together. After tasting the mix, you need to adjust the seasoning to your liking. Add more salt if it's under-seasoned, pour some extra virgin olive oil if it's a bit dry, and add more sumac to your liking. I ended up adding another 1/4 cup or so of sumac and extra virgin olive oil, probably even more, so it's really important to keep tasting and adjusting the flavors to your liking. Yep. Chicken is baby approved. He loves it.
هو عمره بياكل دجاج؟
لا ما بياكل دجاج،
بس هي طيبة.
هي كتير طيبة. هو معه حق يعمل انهيار.
For me this is perfect. دوقي انت. شكير طيبة؟
شو طيب؟ هيدي هي هون.
We done?
We're done. It's perfect. Tastes amazing.
Alright.
For the rolls, you will need any kind of flatbread, but my favorite to make Musakhan is called markouk. It's a very thin bread that becomes crunchy and flaky in the oven. You can find it in Middle Eastern supermarkets, but if you can't, you can use any other flatbread you can find. To make the rolls, cut the bread into quarters. This will make a medium-sized roll. But if you prefer a smaller roll, you can cut them into eighths. Of course, this means a lot more work, but it's up to you. I choose the easier way, which is quarters. Fine. With the rough side up, arrange the filling in a line down the lower half of the bread, fold the sides inwards over the filling, and roll. Kinda like a burrito. Place the Musakhan seam side down in a baking pan and brush it with a bit of extra virgin olive oil. I decided to roll it in the oil to save a bit of time, but it ended up being too oily for my taste. So, do as I say and not as you see me do. Once you're done with all the filling, bake the rolls in a 190°C oven for 15 minutes or until the bread becomes crispy. They are nice and golden and crispy. جاتا شوف. This is how crispy. This is how crispy it should be.
بس كيف حيكون سخين؟ كيف صح نقول
هات كثير في زيت أحد. Waffle. Delicious. Look at this beautiful thing that we made together. I know, mommy. You can definitely save some leftovers for the next day, but the bread will become soggy. So to reheat the Musakhan, bake them in a 180°C oven for 10 minutes or until the bread becomes crispy again. To serve, you can garnish with pine nuts and chopped parsley if you want to be fancy. But either way, I absolutely love this dish and I really hope you give this recipe a try. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to all the Patreons that support me and this channel. And I'll see you next time. Sandwich shawarma هي the Lebanese version of tacos. Bala.
Some Turkish guy brought it into Lebanon.
And then some Lebanese guy راح على المكسيك فيها. And the taco was born. You're welcome, Mexicans. تعرف ب The History of the Taco هيدا Netflix series بيقولوا إنه a Lebanese dude راح على المكسيك and introduced shawarma, and then Mexicans were like, bro, كتير شكلها طيبة, حنعملها Mexican وحنسميها تاكو وحناكلها هيك.
Stay tuned to accidental.
Stay tuned to more accurate historic facts. Stay tuned.
We pride ourselves with partially accurate historical references.
Inaccurate historical references with accidental adult. Thank you for watching. Come back soon. Comment below something about tacos.